Some little children were asked once, what is love? And one of them said it's when you bat your eyelashes a lot and little stars come out of you. But what happens when you put on the white dress and you expect the happy ending and he doesn't show up at the altar? Well, we decided to track down some of these formerly jilted brides to see how long it takes to recover after suffering. This is what happened.
I'm sorry.
I am wearing the dress. I'm ready.
It is the nuclear version of a cracked open heart. From Grey's Anatomy to real life, when a young woman in white lace arrives for her grand church wedding.
It was very shocking. I felt like someone really just kind of punched me and I just lost all feeling.
That morning, her groom had told her that his feet felt like jelly, but promised he'd see her later. He'd be there at the altar. Next, the 27-year-old is standing outside the church when the best man arrives to say, the groom has fled to London. The wedding is off. He'll be in touch.
Where the hell you not call earlier today? What the hell are? Where the hell have you been all day?
In an instant, a bride is shattered, her family outraged.
Why? What's wrong? What's wrong?
You're going to make an announcement.
What do you want me to tell people?
It's Nicole's brother who makes the announcement to the wedding guests.
The wedding will not be taking place. So please, as our guests, accompany us to the Essex House for a few hours.
We're going to have the band play. We're going to take pictures of our loved ones and our friends. And we are going to celebrate the coming out of Nicole, as it were.
But then, Nicole does something unexpected, changes into a party dress, and joins her family and friends on the dance floor. Another jilted bride, Marilyn Chivetta, throws a party.
Well, I was under the covers for 2 days and numb, couldn't really talk.
It was a week before her wedding when her fiancé called it off, so she invited everyone in St. Louis who'd been jilted to join her at what she called the Broken Heart Ball.
My friend said, it's going to be a lot of women that are bitter. It wasn't. I guess it was all about, if something negative happens in your life, you can choose to celebrate it. You know that feeling you get when you get bad news, just kind of numb.
And then there was Atlanta news anchor Kimberly Kennedy, who thought she had it all, a dream job, the perfect fiancé. Then on the day of the wedding rehearsal party, oh, did it fall apart.
He said, I can't do it. We left pretty quickly after that. It was just surreal. It's the happiest day of your life, and then in a moment, it's the worst day of your life. Just like that.
Kimberly's look-alike sister let loose on the non-groom.
I couldn't believe my ears. And I turned around and probably said some things that I shouldn't have.
In one day, she returned every gift, and the flowers and food were donated to charity. Then the hard part.
I can remember lying on that couch one day and thinking, you know what, how in the world did I get here? I was as low as a person could get.
After a press report, Kimberly received so many letters of support, including one from her former fiancé, who apologized. She says she now sees her enthusiasm may have overshadowed his doubt.
A wedding should be happy and joyous for both people, and it didn't feel that way now in retrospect. It felt like I was pushing him.
I'm here at Piedmont Park where some great things are happening.
She used the publicity as Atlanta's most famous jilted bride to get a job as host of her own weekly entertainment show called Hot Topics.
The story here is that I'm completely happy. You don't have to have a mate around to make you complete. And maybe I didn't know that before. You can dust yourself off and rewrite that chapter of your life. And you know what? I like this chapter a whole lot better.
So what happened after the not-so-happy ever after? Kimberly says she's wonderfully single, though Marilyn is looking and not so trusting this time around. But within 2 years of that awful night, our first bride, Nicole, found a new love, and this time, a real wedding. Her husband is Dr. George Liakis. They share a business, a medical spa, and have 2 beautiful little girls.
If you ask me, how do I feel about the fact that Nicole was left at the altar, I think it was the best thing that could ever happen to me.
My real life was always supposed to be with George, and God had something much better waiting for me, and that's George. And then at the end, I found my prince.
and you don't always know where your happy ending is coming. By the way, Kimberly Kennedy, who told us she still hopes to get married someday, said that you should let her know if there are any great 45 to 55-year-old men out there, and she's writing a book about being left at the altar. It's coming out next year.